Chapter 18. The Pull of Home. Sleep would not come. Elara lay on the woven mats within the hall, listening to the quiet rhythm of the village settling into night. Soft breaths, the faint crackle of low fires, the distant whisper of wind through shadowed leaves, all sounds that had begun to feel strangely familiar. Yet beneath them, another sensation tugged at her. A pull. Not physical, but unmistakable, like a distant melody only she could hear. The sky. She sat up slowly, careful not to disturb the stillness. Across the room, Kaelen's eyes opened. "You feel it," he said softly. She nodded. "They're using long-range beacons. I can sense the resonance." He rose without question. "You wish to see?" It was not a question. "Yes," she admitted. They traveled in silence toward the ridge, the forest dim and watchful around them. The tether glowed faintly, guiding their steps through narrow paths and over uneven ground. As they approached, Elara felt the pull grow stronger, a familiar cadence woven into the currents of magic. When they reached a vantage point overlooking the clearing, she crouched behind a cluster of stone. Below, the scouts had established a small encampment. Crystalline pylons stood arranged in a precise pattern, emitting soft beams of pale light that converged overhead into a shimmering lattice. Instruments hummed quietly, their glow reflecting off polished surfaces. Elara's chest tightened. The precision, the discipline, it felt like home. "They are anchoring a signal," she whispered, "linking to the city." Kaelen watched quietly. "What does it mean?" "They're reporting," she said, "and receiving instructions." One of the scouts stepped into the center of the lattice, activating a projection. A faint image formed, indistinct but unmistakable in its radiance. The silhouette of Aethelgard. Elara's breath caught. For a moment, memories flooded her. The warmth of sunlight on crystal terraces, the hum of light through structural filaments, laughter carried on bright air. She felt an ache she had not allowed herself to acknowledge. Kaelen noticed. "You miss it," he said gently. "Yes," she said, voice barely above a whisper. "It's still my home." Below, voices carried faintly upward. "Energy divergence confirmed," one scout said. "Command advises immediate containment protocol." Another responded. "If the anchor cannot be stabilized, we proceed with severance." Elara stiffened. "Severance?" Kaelen asked quietly. Her throat tightened. "It means," she said slowly, "cutting the flow entirely." "And the consequence?" She looked toward the fading land stretching beyond. "It could destabilize everything below," she said, "possibly collapse large regions." Kaelen absorbed this without visible reaction, though she sensed tension in the tether. "They believe they are protecting their people," he said. Elara nodded faintly. "They always do." A scout activated another device, a map of shifting energy currents that extended deep into the shadow wilds. Elara leaned forward, studying it. Her eyes widened. "They're wrong," she whispered. Kaelen glanced at her. "How so?" "The readings," she said. "They're incomplete. They're only measuring upward flow, not the stabilizing exchange." She felt a surge of urgency. "If they act on that data, they will worsen the imbalance," Kaelen finished. Elara nodded. Silence stretched between them as they watched the camp below. Finally, she spoke, voice trembling slightly. "If I reveal myself, I could explain, correct their understanding." Kaelen did not respond immediately. Instead, he asked softly, "Would they listen?" Elara hesitated. Images surfaced, council chambers, debates where caution was often overshadowed by urgency. "I don't know," she admitted. He nodded slowly. "Then the risk is great." She looked at him. "And if I do nothing?" she asked. Then events will unfold without your voice. The tether warmed gently, steady and patient. Elara watched the projection of her city flicker in the night. For the first time, she truly felt the weight of standing between two worlds, not as a concept, but as a lived reality. "They're afraid," she said quietly, "just as your people are." Kaelen's voice was calm. Fear often moves faster than understanding. She gave a small, sad smile. "That sounds like something my mentors used to say." Below, the scouts began adjusting their instruments, beams shifting subtly as data streamed through crystalline conduits. Elara felt a deep resolve begin to take shape. "I can't let them act blindly," she said. Kaelen turned to her. "What will you do?" She met his gaze, determination and uncertainty intertwined. "I'll watch," she said, "learn what they intend." The answer felt like a beginning rather than a solution. They remained on the ridge for a while longer, the quiet hum of skyborne technology blending with the natural stillness of the shadow wilds. Eventually, they turned back toward the village. As they walked, Elara felt the tether pulse with quiet reassurance, a reminder that whatever choices lay ahead, she would not face them alone. Above, unseen but ever present, Aethelgard shimmered in distant brilliance. Below, hidden in shadow and uncertainty, the path forward grew ever more complex. And in Elara's heart, the pull of home and the call of truth intertwined, two forces drawing her toward a decision she could no longer avoid.